recover completely, but they should be fine. Good.
Indeed.
Thank you, Luna. And thanks for finding the medicine, you guys. Thank you so much.
No need to thank us.
Oh, we found those in the crew quarters. Before you returned, we went to check on the bomb in room 2, and we found them there. Of course, thank you again for dealing with it. You are, quite literally, you have my eternal...
No, I'll let you handle it. I chose Betray in the last round. You probably don't trust me right now.
Excuse me, I apologize for interrupting, but I think you should be the one to...
Why?
You already have 9 BP. There's no reason for you to choose Betray now. You see? Not necessarily.
What does it matter what he's... We're almost there. We just have to play the A-B game 3 more times. Then we can all get 9 points. But that means each representative has to choose ally all 3 times.
Okay, I'll vote. You sure you're alright with this?
Shall we open the doors?
An ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until...
Oh, right. We have to wait for the deadline.
Oh. Well, we could vote earlier, but then each voter would be stuck inside the AB room for 45 minutes.
Okay, let's go back to the infer...
I agree. Please.
Hold on. I just remembered. The AB room on the left, in one of the other histories, she... Maybe because she wasn't murdered. Do you remember what Akane said?
The cat in the box. Is it alive or is it dead? Sigma. Fine. You will decide
Exactly. Perhaps she was saying her own fate wasn't decided yet. The history where she's alive and the history where she's murdered are both real right now. No, we haven't opened the box. We haven't found a body, but we haven't found her alive yet either. In other words, we haven't actually observed her. The hologram was a recording from before this game started.
The next time we meet, I can tell you the rest of the story. So come and find me. I'll be waiting.
No, this is one of the AB rooms. Damn, I guess you did lose your memory after all. Check your bracelet. Mine's the same. No, not. I think we woke up a little earlier this time. Push the buttons on the side. We didn't wake up this long before the primary doors opened. I think we're about an hour early. Yeah, Akane might still be alive. We got back before I think. Right. We're here for one reason. Exactly. Don't need to tell me twice. Let's go. He's fine, just unconscious. I don't think he saw me. He probably has no idea what happened to him. He had it coming.
So you came. I've been waiting for you. You're here to hear the rest, right? Have been stabbed in the heart. Although, that reminds me, I haven't thanked you yet. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate you.
Hold on, how do you know about being stabbed by Dio? Are you an Esper too?
Yes, indeed I am. I am able to jump through time, just like you. Because I had to. Think back. Why are you here? If I hadn't been killed by Dio, no one else would have been murdered. Consequently, your own abilities would never have manifested. I did explain. The purpose of the AB project was to set. In order for that to happen, some death was necessary. When a human brain is faced with danger, its processing speed increases. Information is processed more quickly, and time almost seems to slow. A few seconds can feel like an eternity. Unfortunately, that in itself isn't enough to send oneself through time. The amplitude of the consciousness is simply too small. In order to increase the amplitude, it's a little like a slingshot. You pull back on the rubber band and then let go. The potential energy you stored in the band, that's what fires the bullet out of the slingshot. Now, while a slingshot can only fire in one direction, your mind isn't similarly limited. When the bullet of your consciousness is fired from the slingshot of your brain, it travels past the three-dimensional world and into the four-dimensional one. From that perspective, time is no longer fixed. In other words, you can travel to the future, the past, whenever you like. Your consciousness has been released from the three-dimensional cage. In order for that to happen, I had to infect you with Radical 6.
We're infected with Radical 6?
Yes. Don't you remember, Luna should have told you about it in another timeline.
Are you infecting all of these people with such a horrible disease?
Every single one of you has been infected. Well, apart from Unfortunately, it was necessary. We needed to slow your minds in order to store up your potential energy. Then we provided a dire situation. The result is what you are now experiencing. Your consciousness now occupies four-dimensional space-time. Even that, however, wasn't enough. You had the ability to travel, but if the project was to succeed, you had to be able to retain everything you learned in each reality. That was the reason you were forced to jump so many times. With each jump, your ability to remember improved. Eventually, you would be able to retain everything. That is why we made you play the A-B game. That was why you had to select different chromatic doors. By forcing specific choices, we could cause you to make more jumps. Yes. Haven't I told you? Death was unavoidable. You were all destined to die. Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project. Ah. I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually.
What? Just when is eventually?
In a future not very far from now. I'm going to keep this with me. But it's almost time. No, in a few moments you'll return to the original timeline. This is the way it has to be. Don't fight it. Logomorph.
Yes. Logomorph?
You call him Zero Jr. His official designation is Logomorph. Logomorph, this is an order. Unlock my bracelet.
Compliance.
Now, everything is in place. I have put the bracelet onto it. All we have to do is place his body in the 5th AB room. The second one from the right.
That's the one Quark is...
Correct. I will move him. I will also put your bodies back into the 3rd AB room. Once that's done, I will reset its puzzle to an unsolved state. To recreate the history that you remember. Your consciousness is about to leave your body and return to the future. Your body will be emptied, and your other consciousness will jump back in. If your bodies aren't back in the 3rd AB room by then, it would be bad.
So you're saying some version of us is going to wake up in that room and repeat the same history again? Well, I guess this could actually...
You are exactly correct. Lastly, I'm going to leave this with you. I'll tie it onto your ankle so that you won't lose it. All right, Sigma? Tu fui ego eris.
It's Latin. It means, what you are, what I am, you will be.
Yes. It will help you meet someone who's very important. Go. Return to the future. You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you. Now hurry.
Oh, looks like you're awake.
Why are we here?
Do you know what happened at
Kay and I went back to...
We waited and waited.
So we went to the...
We found you passed out and...
Kay and I hurried back here with you.
You mean what happened?
Hey! What am I? Top...
Back among the conscious and not psychotic.
Yeah, thanks.
Grandpa told me what you did. Thanks for finding the medicine.
Really grabbing at straws here, aren't you? Not really.
Whatever. Now that you guys are awake, I'll...
What are you talking about?
Look at your bracelet.
I've got 50. That means I got 6 more.
We've played the AB game.
Yes, of course, the color and group assignment, but no matter who voted... And now all of us have enough to leave.
Death was unavoidable. Sacrifices.
Come on, let's open the door.
All right, let's get going.
Yes, just...
The number 9 door. It will remain open for 9 seconds. Two, 1, 0. The number 9 door is closing. the number this ends the Nonary game. Thank you for your participation as the game is over.
Looks like we did it.
Yes, we should keep moving.
You know what this place...
Whoa! You're saying the air outside is...
Why? How did all this...
Did...
No, that's not possible.
We've come this far. Let's go outside. There's no way to know what's really going on until we do.
All right.
Where the hell are we?
the desert, I guess?
I figured that out.
I don't know. I think I know it. Look at the moon. It's red, right? That means today's the total lunar eclipse.
So?
Remember the astronomy magazine and the next eclipse like this was gonna be on... So...
Wait a minute, let me get this straight. Are you suggesting we were sleeping for a week after we were abducted?
I think so.
The moon. Well, the moon's shadow, actually. Zero told me to stay quiet. I think he was worried I'd spill the beans. He said if I didn't toe the line, he wouldn't just... And I agreed. Like an idiot. Just... such an idiot. So, that being... Might as well start with... I meant what I said. That up there is the moon's shadow. Think about it. If that's the moon's shadow...
That's... Earth?
Yeah. It's not the red moon you get from it again. This isn't a lunar eclipse. It's anybody in the black spot down there is looking up at the moon, covering the sun.
The moon of... This is the lunar... We were just inside a moon... No way. No. How do you expect us to... This can't be...
Yeah, and that's pretty. Besides, if this was the moon only has 1/6, so what's this? See? That looked perfect.
Yes, it You weren't. Then we gave you the Accelavir. The Radical 6 isn't completely gone, though.
What symptoms?
Well, Radical 6 can slow down your brain's process. It can take a while for your brain to get back up to... Every one of us has been... In other words, all of our brains have been processing information at a... If you evaluated the root of 1/6, you'll get a number. That means our brains are running at some... As you said before, the moon's gravity is the time that it takes for an object to fall. Since the gravity is lower on the moon, I guess that's a little... Let me give you an... Say you drop an atom. It will take approximately... On the moon, however, that time would be 1 second times... I used 4.9 meters because it matches up with the acceleration. The gravity constant, you could drop something from 10 centimeters. Does that make sense? So, now we've established that on the moon, things of that being the case, what would happen to them? 2.45 seconds would feel like 1 second. But it's not high. That's what's been happening. Wait, you're saying that's the reason we didn't... Are you sure you didn't think back? Huh? You and Sigmund Phi said about how you felt.
It's kind of like my body. I'm sort of...
That can't pop. Look at it. I've seen photos of Earth. That thing is...
Before we get into that, this isn't New Year. Today is January 27th. No.
Don't tell me.
Still no.
Then just...
It's 74. 2074. I don't blame you if you don't believe it's the truth.
How can you be sure?
It's not that hard. Quark and I left Earth on January 23rd. 2 solar eclipses are easy. We've known that there'd be one on the 27th. It's just science. Nobody can change that.
But why is the...
That's about 45 years ago. On April 13th, 2029, there were 18. On the 13th, all 18. The explosion was about 180,000 times as powerful as the... I suppose it started a... The government had a test site for a future Mars mission out in the middle of Nevada. On December 31st, 2028, there was an... Well, accident doesn't quite convey the... The point is, Radical 6 claimed its first victims there. Didn't take long for it to spread to... Like Luna explained, but eventually... Pretty soon, the bodies start... Some people would take a dive off a building or shoot themselves, but for some it was poison or fire or... Plenty of people jumped in front of train. One pilot on a passenger airline drove his plane. Most forms of transportation ground to a halt pretty fast. That meant food couldn't get distributed, and thousands of people who weren't even infected died from starvation. Everywhere you went, there were just piles of corpses, covered in flies and rats and crows. I don't know what hell's like, but I imagine it's a lot like that. After a while, people who managed to avoid getting infected started trying to get in touch with one another. They got a hold of some radios and organized a couple. There was only one thing to discuss. How could they get rid? The answer, they decided, they figured they could just roast the surface of the Earth, and that had killed... On April 13th in 2002, that plan was to detonate all 18 annihilation reactors. Now the truth is, that's mostly just rumor, and I've got my own... I think that the bombers had already been... And when they died, the ultimate, if I die, you're coming with me. I'd bet you money they'd all lost it long before killing most of the world. No matter how bad, even if it wasn't directly responsible. Anyway, why it happened isn't that important. You ever heard of nuclear winter? Well, that's basically what we got. The explosion threw a ton of crap up into the stratosphere, where it joined up with smoke and ash from what blotted out the sun for 7 years. Plants withered and animals died by the millions. The few humans who were left banded together to survive. They were rough times. Eventually they were over, though. The sky cleared and the sun came back. Plants started blooming again, and the animals that had died out completely began to reappear. Things weren't quite back to normal, though. It's been 45 years now, but there's still quite a bit of dust and ash in the air. That's what you're seeing. You know why a sunset's red? Well, this is the same thing. Blue and green light have short wavelengths, and they scatter when they run into debris in the air. Red light, on the other hand, has a longer wavelength. lot farther when the air's dirty. So there you are. The Earth looks red because that's the only color of light that can make it through the atmosphere.
Hey, Sigma, I think I figured something. I figured out why there's an extra E. Yeah. I think it's... God damn it, Sigma! Knock it off! Memento mori, if you rearrange the man on the moon rules the infinite time. See? You need 6 E's to get that, so they stuck an extra one in 9. I think it's a message for us from Zero C. Remember what she was telling?
We created the A to transport the consciousnesses of...
What? You don't get it? They're saying we rule infinite time. They weren't just talking about having us jump. I think they're planning to send us back. Yeah. I think so. Well, Akane should be able to let's go pay her. Come on. Remember what she said when
Tufui.
Well, come on, let's go.
What? Did you forget something? You mean Akane? I'll take that as you let me accompany you.
Wait, why do you know about it?
I'll tell you when we now. If you... I'm coming with you, folks just said.
I'm going too, so am I. Hey!
Yeah, you know her real well.
Wait, you're serious? What the hell is going on?
Clever. The number 9 door on floor A is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course, but the door on floor B...
Yeah. Thought we might be able to take the lift.
Any idea where Akane... You mean...
Is a... What should we do? Are we gonna dig her...
What is this?
It doesn't look like a cop.
Yeah, it's a treatment pod.
Oh my god.
It is, isn't it?
Let's see what's inside. No good. I think it's locked.
Treatment pod. Stage 2. Once Stage 2.
What? So, Mizakane's like an ice cube? Then we gotta wait till she melts.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay? Specifically, why do you know Akane?
I remembered.
What do you remember?
Everything. I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome now. A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? This facility is a little like a... Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facilities. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one. Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Sr. I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and... Yes.
So, you want us to go back and keep Radical 6 from getting... That's our mission?
Well, not exactly. It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep... But even if you do make it back, by now...
Too late?
Let me begin it. You might be thinking that Zero Sr. and Akane... But that's not entirely... They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories. The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension. That was the reason. Your infection with Radical 6, by slowing down your brain's processing speed with that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life... like a bullet.
Wait, hold on just a minute. You keep talking about... But what about the rest of... Why did you bring up...
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories. Although I suppose that's probably not... In a sense, though, it is the truth. Yes. Very well. I will try and do so. First, they were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028. The location is Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility. The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029. Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Yes, in preparation for this day.
But what do you need us for?
You are an Esper. I mean that you are able to access, am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking, as I've already explained, the purpose of this project, espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power. You understand? This is why we brought you here.
What about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bomb.
Huh? But I didn't...
But you did. In another history, you were able to perform a prime decomposition on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind. Only you could do that. Because of your feat of mathematics, we were able to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him. And finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice, this history exists. Now, in Tenmyoji, we needed you for the sake you are able to access almost half a century ago.
Yeah.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see it? If you do...
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted...
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about... He kept saying he couldn't run off.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and never thought this, would you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring. What kid would turn that down?
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, during the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out, and when I woke up...
Now, his real name is Left, and he was ordered to come. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago. Do you remember what the ultimate purpose of the AB project is to, if we succeed, that would be bad for our success. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant. They needed to stop the AB project. So, Dio was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the second, was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed. At least, not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project, if things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9, hence the bombs.
Can I ask you...
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
He was also an aspect. We can set Brother aside for now, though. May I proceed? Excellent. That explains everyone. Luna. Sigma and Phi already know. I don't believe I should reveal. I think it would be more appropriate if... Would that be alright with you, Luna?
Yes, that's okay.
As for me, as I said before, the rest of you were brought to this. That makes me someone...
Hey, who is...
You've already met him, sir, in another timeline.
Stage TP.
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Okay, let's get started then. Ready? Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
You finally... Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone. I will be at your side. Yes, I am.
Akane Kurashiki.
It's June. I mean, Akane.
Yes, that's correct. I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
Junpei?
Akane. Long time no see.
When?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse? Once you saved me, you went back to your... I carried your bodies to the third aid. After that, I went into the first room and...
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes. No, it was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two say it's just like Schroeder. Your actions in the future.
Alright, what about the other history? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite... The man in front of...
Him?
That's... Whenever I'm not in the...
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied. He, on the other hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of Socoril can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
So, who is...
You've never seen him?
No.
What about the rest?
I have no idea who...
I've never seen him.
Me either.
Total stranger.
Did you hit your head or...
Sigma, you can inhabit your body in the past. Don't you get it? You've jumped to the future from 45 years ago. It's your face, Dr. Sigma Climb. Although, to the you that's behind it now, it's your face 45 years from now. 0. The master is you. No, it's the fighting it isn't going to do you any good. Please, Doctor. You will be a pioneer in the... No, You created him. Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create him. His name is Kyle Climb, your clone. That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself. 23 years ago, in the biolab, well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future. When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 of Earth's. If nothing was done, the reduced gravity would cause his bones to be weaker than normal human ones. But you prepared for that. You gave him that armor. Ever since he was born, he's lived inside of it. It kept his muscles and bones strong. He wasn't forced into it for the Nonary game. He's been wearing it every day, all his life. He was to be your spare. If something happened to you before the project began, he would take your place. I mentioned before that the AB projects A and B stood for after and before. That isn't all they mean, though. The A also means anima, and the B means body. Anima is another word for the soul or the consciousness. Body is, well, exactly what it says on the tin. The past consciousness will go into the future body, and the future consciousness will go into the past body. They switch. That was the chief goal of the project. Sigma, do you remember the note you found in the garden?
You mean this?
Yes. Ah, of course, it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yeah.
Sigma, take a good look at this. It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making. A is where everything began. December 25th, 2028. You inhaled the white smoke in your car and lost consciousness. From there, you jumped to B. January 25th, 2074. You woke up in one of the AB rooms in Rhizome 9. You are in your own body, but it is 67 years old. Your consciousness has jumped 45 years into the future. I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity. The body you woke up in was much older. Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker. In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that out. Moving on. If you continue along this line, what happens next? You reach C, which is January 27th, 2074. That is today.
Whoa. Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying it's been 2 days since we woke up?
36 hours to be exact. Have you already forgotten? You were all infected with the virus, slowed your brain down. So yes, 36 hours of real time have passed. But to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes. Now comes the important part. After this, your consciousness will return to the past. It will re-emerge at point D. April 13th, 2029. You will return to your younger body.
But that's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Yes. That is why I said it will be too late. You will return to the past. The story does not end there, however. The line continues. After reaching point D, you will eventually return to B. But this time, you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate faster than normal. Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body. Until you reach point B. Do you remember when B is, Sigma? Correct. That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped into the body of 67-year-old Sigma. So where did the older version of you go when you took his body? Yes, his consciousness will go back in time 45 years. For a period of time, while your younger consciousness is elsewhere. That's correct. When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and return to your body at sea. Rotating. I suppose you could put it that way. But look at this illustration closely. What if you take all these lines and untangle them? You get one single line. It may look complicated, but in truth, it's a single straight path. With one exception. Exactly. Point E is December 31st, 2028, the day of the total eclipse. Yes. By now, you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AB project was to get the consciousness of... If we can do that, we can change what happened. Yes, that is why this line could not be interrupted. In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we first have to go through point D. In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C. And for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point. So that we might save and undo the horror. What is that? Yes, that's very... Yes. We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Fortunately, we now have, thanks, ironically, to all that remains is to launch your consciousness. Like a bullet from a sling. Didn't I tell you? A crisis. A moment balanced between life and death. That can jumpstart your brain. You haven't figured it out. I mean this.
April 13th, 2029, and this is the evening news. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I don't have any news to read. All of our station's reporters have passed after contracting Radical 6. So have my... Excuse me. I've managed to keep us on the air until now. But I'm out of tricks. It's time for me to sign off. This concludes our broadcast day. I pray that someday our world can be cleansed of this horrible plague. Goodbye.
It looks like the first step was successful. Killed? Hey, no need to be rude about it. I didn't kill you. I hit you with the butt of the knife. You're fine. Yes. You and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis. That was the only way. Yes, I only told you about you, but we also needed Phi to jump. Now, you know what happens next, right? Correct. We will be leaving tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle. Only a few last-minute checks and additions. You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9, along with 3 treatment pods. Yes. Phi. We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago. She appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen. That wasn't the Phi who jumped from Point C, though. It was Phi before she jumped from Point A to Point D. In other words, she was following the same path you are. And she still is. Yes. The Point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod. She'll stay there for the next 45 years, sleeping in ice. Correct. We can't do that. You haven't figured it out? You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project. After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must master genetic engineering and artificial intelligence programming, among other disciplines. Otherwise, you will be unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph. And, of course, you will need to develop the chromatic doors and the bracelets. You will also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark. Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin. January 25th, 2074. You will defrost Phi and carry her to the third AB room. Once you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from Point A will force you out. And you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2028. You have to. If you don't, billions of people will die. Only you and Phi can save them. I can't do anything on my own. If this is going to work, I'll need your help. What do you mean? You'll both enter the Mars mission test site. I don't know. I'm sorry. I really don't know anything about what happens in there. We don't know how the Radical Six escaped. We don't even know why it was there in the first place. That's why we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds. We need you to figure out what happened in that test facility. Things will be difficult, and I'm sure you will find yourself in a great deal of danger. But I believe the two of you can overcome any obstacle. The 67-year-old version of you told me what happened. He wasn't able to stop the virus. So I suppose you could say you told me after you failed. That the test facility is full of traps. There was one point, a woman's life was in danger. You risked yourself for her sake, and lost your arms and your right eye. Go have a look.
Where?
I see you've finally woken up, Kyle.
Kyle?
Ah, yes, of course. You've only just woken up in this timeline. It's It's only natural for some of your memories to be missing.
Kyle Climb. So, I'm Dr. Climb? Zero Senior's clone?
What? How do you know that? Shouldn't you still be suffering from amnesia?
What day is today?
January 27th, 2074.
Today is the last day of the AB project. Akane has explained everything, and she drew a knife and attacked Phi. How long have I...
About 5 hours. For them, it would have seemed like a little more than 2 hours.
So they still haven't been treated for their Radical 6?
No, they've all been given the antiviral. It just takes a while to have an effect.
I see. So the consciousness of the younger Sigma has gone back into the past. This should have happened right after Akane attacked Phi, right?
Yes.
Why am I here?
The doctor carried you back here. You were in the pod in the garden.
So the person you call the doctor is Sigma Climb, as inhabited by his age-appropriate consciousness.
Yes, but how do you know that?
Dio seems to have remained unconscious.
Yes. I've been administering Soparil whenever he gets restless.
What about the others?
They've all gone off to different areas. Tenmyoji and Quark, for
Right! Mr. Club!
So the sleepyheads,
What are you two doing here?
you don't know where we are?
This is the upper floor, the real one.
Mm-hmm.
We were just about to get dressed.
You plan to return to Earth, I mean.
Yeah.
Sigma told us where we could find the shuttle that brought us here. Well, guess he's not really the Sigma I knew anymore. He's Dr. Klein now, or Zero Senior, depending on how you look at it.
Why?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm just curious why you would choose to return to a devastated planet when you could stay here.
How's staying here gonna help? You aren't gonna say something idiotic about how we should wait here until Sigma changes the past, are you? You can't wait for something that's already happened. Grammar doesn't work that way. Hell, nature doesn't work that way. You following me? We've already lived through history. Sigma failed to keep the virus from getting out. About 45 years ago, Radical 6 created a pandemic, and the antimatter reactors blew up. That whatever Sigma does in the past, history's not going to change. In fact, it's because of what he did or didn't do in the past that we've got this. Let me give you an example. Imagine a group of 100 motorcycles driving down an endless freeway. Eventually, they hit a junction. The road splits in two. One freeway continues off northwest, and the other stretches out to the northeast. So one guy, we'll call him F. Let's go northwest, he says. So they take the northwestern road, but about a mile past the intersection, something horrible happens. A semi driving the other way veers into their lane and plows through the bikers. "90 of them die. The surviving 10 are wounded, but survive. They don't stop, though. They keep riding down that highway, and eventually, Then suddenly, something happened. S, who had survived, suddenly has his consciousness thrown back in time. He ends up back in his own body just before they reach the junction. He remembers everything. So what does S do? What anybody would do. Let's go northeast. That means all 100 of the bikers survive to reach their destination, happy, and they all live happily ever after. That's what you're thinking, right? It's a great outcome for the 100 bikers that went northeast. But what about the 10 that went northwest and survived the accident?
Huh? Wouldn't it be 9 people? I mean, S's mind went back in time, right?
Right. Okay, 9 people. What happens to the reality they were living? Does it just disappear when S changes the past? It's not as if it was only bad things that happened during that 10,000-mile trip. Maybe one of them fell in love with a woman working at a gas station they stopped at and had a child. Maybe one of them picked up a homeless kid who joined them on their adventure. That 10,000-mile journey would be full of stories, friendships. The loss of those 90 lives is horrible, but what would rewriting their history mean? The 9 who survived lived full lives. How can it be right to just erase all that? The survivors overcame their own misery and loss and made the best they could of the hand they'd been dealt. Isn't that worth something? Isn't that the best thing that humans can aspire to? Is there really any point to a world where everything is happy? Are people who struggle for a better life just idiots? Being human is about fighting, even when it seems hopeless, and finding happiness, even in a world that hates it. Are you saying that's worthless? If you're saying rewriting the past will erase all these other timelines, then whatever God wrote those rules can Look, I'm just not going to... You get it?
If Sigma changes the past, then you and Quark will never meet.
Is he...
No, it's not going to happen. We're here right now. Even if Sigma does change the past, we're not just going to...
Oh, then that means we get to stay together? Good.
Thanks, kid.
I understand how you feel. Why you want to return to Earth is you have lives there, and there are likely people waiting for you.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Have you already said goodbye?
Bye, Luna, Alice, and Clover all saw us off. We told him we'd see him again someday, and then came here.
They were the only people you want to see.
No point saying anything.
Besides, you were asleep too.
Sorry, but we didn't really know much about you.
You have a point. Akane was in the armor in this timeline, after all. What about Sigma?
Well, he's not really...
He is Dr. Klein now that his...
Yeah, but more importantly, he's the guy who brought us all here. Not a lot of warm feelings there, you know?
And...
Never mind her. She's just like him. Not the Akane I knew. She must have seen some pretty awful things over the years. Hell, she might not even be human anymore. But the Akane Kurashiki I know, she's not anywhere.
In the end, pawns to be used? Still, it's not like we had to be here to help change the past. That part's easy, but...
Kinda sucks, though. I mean, Sigma and Phi, they get to go back to December. They'll stop the Radical 6 and save the world. In other words, they get to go back to point...
But we don't. We're stuck with point C as our starting point.
You told us about Tenmyoji's story, the one with the motorcycle. It would be like if Alice and I were kidnapped right before the intersection. Then whoever grabbed us takes us to wherever the bikers are going.
Don't get us wrong. Without us, S's consciousness wouldn't have been able to go back to right before the intersection.
If that couldn't happen, then the fate of those 90 dead bikers would be sealed. But...
It's still not the best situation. We're stuck in the reality where the 90 bikers died.
Are we just supposed to go live on Earth? It's a wasteland. And what about our friends and families? We left a whole...
Even if it is for the greater...
It just doesn't seem fair, does it?
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
So we went and talked.
She told us that there is
one way we could get back.
Let's say you do go back to the... Wouldn't that cause your minds to get... That seemed to be how Sigma and Phi...
Yes, you're right.
But this is different.
Different?
From what she said, it sounds like there's a way we can send our bodies back in time, too.
That's ridiculous. It would create a paradox. How could you have 2 Clovers and...
But that wouldn't happen.
Akane says there's a way...
How on earth did...
Schrodinger's
cat. Oh,
Oh, hey, Kyle. Figured you'd come here.
Where's Dr. Klein? Luna said you were with...
He said he was tired, so he's off. There's a bedroom at the end of the hall. He's in there if you're curious. Oh, right. He told me to turn on this hologram projector thing. Want me to start it?
Glad to see you. There isn't anything in particular that I have to... However, I imagine I'd love to answer all your questions. I hope you can forget everything I know. I have instructed her to answer any questions anyone might have. Anyone other than Kyle, that is.
What does he mean?
Who knows? Is there anything you want to ask?
Oh, right, well, I guess I may as well. Just who are you,
I'm not Superman, and I'm not Batman or Spider-Man. I'm not a Brahmin or Kamen or Ramen. I'm not a...
Please don't dodge. About 5 hours ago, Akane that triggered something which sent your mind back to the... Specifically, you were sent to... On that date, your body was... Although by then, you wouldn't have regained consciousness. That pod was your... You slept there, froze. Then on January 25th, even though you didn't wake... Still unconscious, that was when your consciousness changed bodies again. A version of you from December 25th, 2028 arrived. And sending you back to this is when in 2028 you found and joined forces with Sigma, whose older mind was inhabiting his younger body. Together you attempted to infiltrate the Mars mission to... Unfortunately, the Radical Six did escape on New Year. That failure determined that instead of going along the line that branches out to the right from point E, you had point D being April 13th. That was the day that you made your way to Akane's hideout and asked to be put into one of the treatment pods. Another consciousness enters your body around that. It is, of course, the version of you that left your body when Akane attacked you in the garden. This caused the two versions. You moved 45 years into the future, where you woke up on the garden floor. That put you on the line. So if we discount the time for you, only 3.5 months have passed since that happened. That being when you were sent back into the past from the garden. Have I missed anything?
No, everything you talked about.
Well, what do you...
I'm kind of an unknown variable in this equation. It's taken me the last 3.5 months.
I haven't understood anything in the last 3.5 seconds. Could you please explain?
It's kind of like the relationship between classical mechanics and strictly speaking. You can't combine velocities with v1 plus v2. v1 plus v2 divided by 1 plus v1 times v2 over c squared is the actual equation. Of course, the sort of velocities we encounter in day-to-day life don't come close to being c squared, which is the speed of light. That means that 1 plus v1 times v2 divided by... Since that would mean dividing by 1, it's usually okay to just skip that step and use v... You see what I'm saying? In most situations, it works, even if it isn't technically correct. So you knew enough to get the stuff you were talking about, right? As long as you stick to that, you won't run into any problem.
I don't quite understand. In fact, I feel like you're...
So was that what you wanted to ask about?
No. What I really want to know is what happened between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028. You and Sigma infiltrated the Mars mission.
Yes.
What happened there? How did Sigma lose his eye in both? And why was Radical Six? What could a deadly virus have to do with the simulated mission to space?
Sorry, but I can't tell you that.
Why?
Because it would... There is a history where the virus didn't escape. That's the line that goes to the right of point E. In that timeline, humanity isn't heading. The future is much brighter. But if I tell you what you're asking me right now, you understand?
I don't. Why would all of that disappear?
You're about to go back to
the past. Don't be silly. I can't do that.
Then where the hell did you learn all this stuff? I just listened to you tell me a bunch of things you shouldn't have known about. You were sleeping in the pod in the garden. So how can you know my past?
I shall give you your... You are not Kyle Klein. Your body is Kyle's. But you think about, do you really believe you are Kyle? Or could you be someone else entirely?
Then, where is the real Kyle's consciousness?
He was thrown out when right now, in a manner of... His consciousness has gone into a body from that. I doubt you know how much the doctor loves Kyle. He raised him on his own. Kyle is irreplaceable. Do you really think he would go back to the past? and leave Kyle behind here? I know what I told the other, that Kyle was Dr. Climb's spare, but that was not his only purpose. Kyle's consciousness is integral to what we are trying to accomplish. This new mission begins on Christmas and ends on New Year's Eve 2000. Its purpose will be to infiltrate the test facility and prevent the spread of the virus. For this to happen, Kyle is absolutely necessary.
And that is why he created him?
Yes.
So now that my consciousness has entered his body, the Doctor has achieved his objective. Kyle has gone back to 2028 to participate in his mission.
Correct.
There's one thing that troubles me. Kyle was created before reaching point B from point D. That means his body did not exist on Christmas in 2028. Does that mean he has entered my body? Have we just switched places?
I suppose you...
That's ridiculous. What's going to happen to me? You telling me I have to spend the rest of my life here in this box, living in a borrowed body?
No, not. You can travel freely through time and space. You are an uncontrolled variable that entered our closed system. As such, the rules of this world do not apply to you.
I have no idea what...
Please don't try to play dumb. I know what you are. Surely you must know by now, too. You are about to go into the past and save the world. Phi and Sigma, even with all of his future knowledge, will need your help. Only you can right the horrible wrongs of our past. Only you can save the world.
There's no...
Yes, there is. You have to. Don't you want to know the truth? Don't you want to know what happened in between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028?
Well, yes, I do, but...
Then you must believe. Reality is shaped by what we believe reality should be. If observation can change the motion of a particle, then how is it odd to think that human thought can shape reality? Your will can change history. The world will be reshaped into the one you imagine. Remember what I've told you. Only you can change history. Only you can save the world.